Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, I definitely am looking forward to what could pop off in this series now that we are getting more than just others being the enemies or being the things that we can't understand, and really coming to find out that the other ward that we are paired up with or that these characters are working with are pretty much the scum of why probably some of these and others are going to start attacking soon or maybe even already have started attacking. So very interesting that they highlight this type of brutality this week. I mean, not only do they really give us the understanding of how they feel towards the guy who can hear everything, but they also pretty much tell us that like, hey, because he's the way he is, we can't trust him. Not only can we not trust him, he literally can be, the reason why more chaos shows up. So they're pretty much putting him in the position to um, tell everybody that, hey, even if we're on the same team, somehow, some way, we still have a traitor amongst us, is what he can go with. And I thought that was actually pretty crazy to think that they would have that route in this show. I mean, it makes sense because of how these beings are, and he himself said, there's things that they do that I don't agree with. There's things that they were coming up with, and I wouldn't personally do that myself, along those lines. So it's stuff like that that gives you the understanding of he isn't fully on board with trusting some of them, but usually someone who can understand things that are beyond human comprehension, that is a huge spot, like a huge like light to be sitting in, or to even have other people looking for you for answers. It's like, holy crap, I gotta trust a guy who can talk to monsters, who can eat, like somehow put kids in comas just by being in their dreams, and that's the kind of guy I gotta trust. That's the type of feeling. Uh, I mean, and not only do they, it can do that in their dreams, but now I gotta trust the guy who can understand the language that thing is speaking. So clearly something happened to the guy of the main ward that is partnered off with them right now, and he shows it by, itching at his scar, and even when hearing the situation of why this thing was doing what it was doing, he had no change to in his determination to actually absolutely destroy it. And the funny part is they had all this tape and all this stuff to go out and make sure everything was fine, so he can work in there, and once everything was done, you don't have to worry about the outsiders getting caught up in anything. And it really was more of a way to just say, oh, let's see what he can do. If he can't even do this, then screw him. And then once he's completing it and once he's about to be done, you absolutely just destroy the thing, regardless of his results or regardless of anything he could pass down informational wise. So, whew, um, seeing the face that this man made, seeing, him just destroy this thing. Not only just destroy it, but he like put a barrier around it where it was getting like electrified and probably hurt, and then he goes up and just stomps it. So it's a very um, quick way to go, I guess, but to think that he was going to work this out, like some of his case don't even work out. Like some of these, others don't even care to hear out, and then, well, I mean, they care to hear him, but then because they're being heard, but after that, they don't care to do what he actually says if they know they have no power over them. So to all of a sudden have someone capable of eliminating them, I thought that was a huge game changer because on this show, we've only really learned that there's not much you can do, like, oh, it's doing something bad. What do we do about it? We can't do anything about it. Okay. Now we have someone who finds himself, against a weaker one that clearly can't defend against itself as well as, the Pandora or the Hades guy down low. But he still nonetheless treats it as if those are the same level of threats, which he says himself, if I can't destroy it or take care of it, then I'll just treat it as a natural disaster. So it just goes to show you how their mentality is and how it differs so much more from what we actually know. So that was pretty cool. And by cool, I mean I can't wait for this guy to get taken by something and we can't help. Like we'll just like, oh well, yeah, it's a natural disaster and you're screwed. So bye. I don't know. I can't stand people like him that if you've been hurt once, you never will ever let anything in the world hurt you again. And if it can hurt you, you'll kill it before it can kill you. So, oh, this guy locked my skills. You dirty. But with that being said, it's clear to me that there's a lot more that could pop off now, and not just with the humans and against like the stronger entities, but or the mythical creatures, but now the humans versus the humans. So I like that aspect that they're actually bringing forth problems even for both sides to kind of squabble about and stuff like that. So we'll see how this plays out. I don't really see it going that well for the people who are going to try to fight things that practically we write stories about being our everything's, our strongest demons and angels and stuff. I don't think fighting that war is a really smart one. But hey, he took out a little kid demon dream taker, so I mean, he's on top of the world right now. There's nothing that could stop him. So shake my head. With all that being said, though, everybody, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am the Anime G, but yeah, with him destroying this dream monster, all the kids supposedly came back. So, was he wrong for doing it? And if he is wrong, let me know. And if you think that he was right, let me know. He freed the kids. He also said, "How do we know we could trust that he won't do it again?" I mean, the kids were in comas, yes, but did they die from him? No. So, we'll see how this all plays out. I can't wait to see what happens now. This was an amazing episode to leave us hanging on. So, with that being said, peace.